All right, now look. In a world with no speedsters to lean on and no speed force to tap into, Wally West is going through a world of mess. Barry Allen isn't the Flash, and Wally's father might be trying to protect him. But man, it really feels like he wants nothing to do with him. And now, Wally's a kid on the run, scared of powers he can't control, being hunted by people he's never met, and can't tell if they're friends or foe. Oh, and there's a murder he can't really explain. And what the hell did they do to Gorilla Grodd? Welcome back to Keepin' It Comic, and today, we're diving into Absolute Flash, issues 1 and 2. Now look, this all starts off with Wally West, who's clearly just got his powers, and he's in a desert right now. And I mean, this kid is having a straight panic attack. He's like, what have I done? What have I done? This is all so messed up. I ruined everything. I can't go back. And you can see, like, he's literally having a mental breakdown. He is seeing images from all different points, just driving him crazy. He closes his eyes and he thinks, it's all going too fast. Just breathe. Breathe, Wally. Just like she taught you. Breathe. Slow it down. Slow it down. And we start 2 days prior to all this madness. And we get a lot of insight on who this Wally is. He goes, you know where you are. You know who you are. You're Wally West. You're 15 years old. And you were completely and totally alone. I knew it was only a matter of time. Things had been okay for a while, but I could feel it coming on again. It always starts in my stomach, like this terrible, low-level, uneasy feeling that begins to spread. And then I know it's starting again. The racing thoughts, obsessive overthinking. She used to catch it early, and she could make me relax, help me calm down, but she's gone. It's just me now. I don't need anyone else anyway. In the end, we're all alone. Other people just mess everything up. When it's just me, I have control, total control. And as he's headed into a military base, I just have to say, everything he just said sounds like a straight anxiety or panic attack. And for a 15-year-old kid to be dealing with this alone, this is crazy. But needless to say, he goes into this base, and they're like, this is a restricted area. And he says, yeah, I have my pass here somewhere. And the guy says, you know you're not supposed to be out this late, kid. Your dad catches you, he'll have a fit. And someone interrupts and says, at ease. I can escort the prisoner from here. Cut the kid some slack, Sergeant. We were all young once, weren't we? And Wally says, thanks, Dr. Allen. In which Barry responds, I keep telling you, Barry, please. So was it worth it? Staying out past curfew? Get into any trouble? And Wally responds, not really. Nothing to do around here anyways. And as Barry drops Wally home, Wally says, well, good night, Dr. Allen. And Barry responds, hey, Wally, want to see something cool? And please don't ask me why all of a sudden I started thinking of Boys in the Hood where the kid's like, hey, you guys want to see a body? But anyway, they walk into the science lab and they're having a conversation. And Barry says, so, your dad tell you anything about what we're doing here at Fort Fox? And Wally responds, no, not really, just research stuff. He and I don't talk about his work very much. And Barry says, what do you two talk about? And Wally responds, honestly, not much. Since my mom died, he and I don't really have much in common. And Barry says, yeah, me and my old man too. And as they walk deeper into this facility, you start to see gorillas or monkeys everywhere. And Wally's like, what exactly are you doing down here? And Barry says, Project Olympus is. Well, I can't tell you everything, but we're working on the very razor's edge of physics and biology. I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's the military. So the mandate is obviously weapons development, but that's only the beginning. Where we can go from there is, well, we're breaking new ground every day. And then Barry says, maybe you can work part-time with me down here, once in a while. And Wally says, I mean, that would be awesome, but my dad would never let me. Besides, isn't this all like super classified? And Barry says, I can pull some strings. I can talk to your dad too. I'm sure once I explain, he'll understand. And all of a sudden we hear, no, I won't. And Wally says, Dad, Dr. Allen was just, and he's interrupted. The hell are you doing down here? And why aren't you in bed? They called me and told me they caught you sneaking back in. And Wally says, I wasn't sneaking in. I just went for a walk in town and lost track of time. And his father shouts, sure, you're running around out there doing God knows what with your friends. And Wally responds, what friends? There's no one here for me, Dad. And Barry tries to ease the situation by saying, Rudy, I was just showing Wally around. Thought he might get a kick out of some of this stuff. And he says, it's Colonel West. And you know damn well civilians are not permitted down here, Alan. Barry says, take it easy, Colonel. Can't you see the kid is stuck here, bored out of his mind? Come on, have some compassion. And he says, mind your damn business. You're lucky I don't report this. And get back to the house now. We'll talk about this later. And Wally responds, right. Sure we will, Dad. And just like that, we're back in present time with Wally in the desert, who says, should have never gone with Barry. Should never have stayed with my dad. Should have just run when I had the chance. Never look back. Just be on my own, where I can't hurt anyone. And all of a sudden, there's some dust being kicked up. And he says, Dad? And all of a sudden, there's a boomerang shooting from, I guess you would call it a doom bug. And Wally's on the run again. And someone says, positive ID, Wally West. Do I have permission to attack? And someone else says, negative, return to unit. And the original person said, I could have taken him. It saved us a lot of trouble. And who steps out of this vehicle? None other than Captain Code, Captain Boomerang, Golden Glider, and Trickster. Captain Boomerang says, so what'll it be, Captain? And Captain Code responds, Jesse, Lisa, split up and flank them. Harkness, you and I are going head on. And Golden Glider says, dead or alive, Captain? And he says, alive. For now. And Barry is on the run. He says, this is insane. Did Dad send them after me? How could he do that? And all of a sudden, we see all these flashing lights of red images everywhere. And just like that, we're a day in the past and Wally's in a room playing a guitar. And look, I don't understand what's going on with these two, but the chemistry is awful. Wally's dad says, Wally, you okay? And he responds, Dad, I'm fine. Wally's dad says, look, I just wanted to talk to you about last night. Wally says, it's fine. I shouldn't have stayed out. Wally's dad says, it's not just that. It's what you saw in the mountain. And he responds, what did I see? In which he says, the work they are doing here is dangerous, Wally. And I need to be here. But I also need to keep you safe. And Wally gets angry. He goes, are you serious? You dragged me across the country again because you need to be here? But what about me, Dad? And he says, this is my job, son. And Wally is still furious. And what am I supposed to do? Just sit in my room and wait until you get some new orders and we move again? At least Barry showed some interest in me, saw some potential in me. And his father's had it. He yells, Barry, you are not to talk to him again. You understand me? And Wally says, yes, sir. And as Wally's grabbing his stuff, he says, if Mom was still alive, we'd both have left you a long time ago. Like, talk about a low blow. But in the midst of all this, where does he end up going again? Oh, back to the lab. Dr. Allen? Barry? And you can see the monkeys are going crazy. Wally proceeds to go deeper. And all of a sudden, we see Barry with a crazy-looking machine going on. And I guess a makeshift Flash uniform? I don't know. It looks something out of Power Rangers. But either way, he goes, Wally, get away, son. Go. Run. And just like that, we're back in the present. And he is running. Just like you should run and go subscribe to our Patreon. If you're enjoying this content and want to keep it coming, show us a little love. Every bit helps the channel keep rolling. And you can find the link right in the description. But anyway, Captain Code asked Captain Boomerang, can you flush him out? And he said, on it. As usual, Boomerang and I will do everything. And Trickster's like, please stop referring to that thing as if it's a person. Like, bro, let me find out he's having full conversations with the dang Boomerang. But anyway, she agrees. She said it's creepy enough as it is. But Wally is still running. And he's like, calm down. Breathe. Wally, just breathe. And we start seeing that power activate again. and those yellow backgrounds and red swirls, and we know what this means. And he says, no, you've messed everything up. This is all your fault. Wally, you can run all you want. It will never be far enough. And we can see the flashback again as something happens to Barry. It looks like some sort of explosion, and we can just see the skin and all the clothes just shattering around Wally. And he says, you know what you did. And we got a glimpse of a corpse on the ground with the tag, Alan Barry. And he says, you did this, Wally. You killed him. And as we flash forward 1 year later, there's a shadowy figure in this old facility that used to be where Barry did his work. And they say, access to Project Olympus archives requested. Password, Blue Trinity. And the computer activates and grants access. And we can see a bunch of different screens with a lava-looking creature, Wally and one of the monkeys. It looks like the device that Barry was in, Barry with the suit, as well as a bunch of gorillas. And the person says, time to make the whole world fall. And I'm pretty sure this is Mirror Master, but nothing's been confirmed yet. But anyway, Wally's losing it. He's like, you killed him, Wally. You're stupid. You killed Barry. What are you gonna do now? There's nowhere left to hide. They'll come for you now. He's going to come for you. Dad. And just then, a boomerang. And Captain Boomerang says, found him. Sending the location to you guys now. And Captain Cold's like, got it. Limiting his exits. Digger, flush him out. Glider, you intercept. And she's ready. But Trickster's like, I don't like this. Something's not right about this whole op. And then, Captain Boomerang's boomerangs start firing, looking like something out of Green Lantern. And Wally's like, nah, I'm out of here. So Wally's on the run again. And as he's running, he's like, I'm sorry. I just want to go home. I just want to take it all back. Please, I didn't mean to, I swear. It all happened so fast. And just as Wally runs out the cave, Glider's there ready to attack. She swings her two swords looking like she's a Jedi Knight. And Wally jumps right between them. And all of a sudden, this man is dashing all over the place. She's like, what the? She says, guys, Jesse's right. This kid is, well, I don't know what he is. And as Wally's starting to tap into his powers, he's on the move. He's like, I always know something is wrong with me. But now, I feel like I'm bursting apart. It's like, if I don't move, I'm going to explode into a million little pieces. And no one will ever be able to put me back together again. And just then, Captain Cold freezes Wally's foot. And he says, okay, Wes, that's enough. Time to go home. And we start to see that look in Wally's eyes again. And he says, I ruined everything. I messed up too bad this time. There is no going back. I'm all broken. I just need to get up. I need to get up. I need to move. Leave me. And just then, Wally's powers go out of control. And as his powers are on the loose, we can see him screaming out to Barry, who's still in that device. And Barry's reaching out saying, take my hand, son. Hold on. And all of a sudden, Wally's pulled away again, screaming Barry. And just then, Wally's father walks in and he's like, Alan, what did you do? Barry says, Rudy, I swear, I didn't know. And he punches Barry right in the face. What did you do to my boy? Told you to stay away from him. But you just had to mess with my kid. Didn't you, you arrogant? And he's interrupted, Rudy. And he points. And Wally says, Dad. And he says, it's okay, son. It's going to be okay. And you can see Wally is going through it right now. Barry says, Wally, look at me. Focus on me. Stay here. Stay with us. And you can see it looks like Wally's being ripped in two. And he says, get back. Stay away from me. Stay away. And his powers go on a rampage again. And he's back into the desert. Barry, Dad. And Captain Boomerang's like, the hell happened? Trickster says, you're welcome. Told you guys this kid was messed up. But does anyone listen to me? Oh no. Let's just make fun of Jesse. Should have let you all fry. And she throws this little bomb-type device that puts Wally into a bubble. The same one that just protected them. And Wally says, let me out. And Trickster responds, sure, hotshot. As soon as we get back to Fort Fox, I'll let you out. Then, they're going to open you right up. Just like they did with Mick Rory. and that Raymond kid. Wally says, I don't want to hurt anyone else, but I will. And he phases right through the bubble, and he is off again sprinting. Glider's like on it, and she's chasing Wally down. She says, haven't met a thing that can outrun me. And just then, man, Wally kicked it into overdrive and took off. And you can start seeing his skin peel away as he says, I am here. I know that. I am here in the desert. It is now. But I am also back in Barry's lab. I am with my dad. I am here. But I'm also 3 years old and my dad is on leave and took us to Wonder Island. And it's the best day ever. And mom is there too. She's still alive. And we're all together. I'm all together. I'm still whole, in one piece, not broken, not here and not there. And I can't stop running. No matter how much I want to, I can't stop. I'm scared. Then suddenly it happens. I'm not here and I'm not back then. I am forward and I see what's coming. I see tomorrow. No, 2 tomorrows, 2 worlds. Am I a hero or am I a monster? And bro, that monster shot looks crazy. It looks like Carnage with the Speed Force. Venom 3 all over again. And just like that, Wally's stumbling back in the desert and says, what's happening to me? What am I becoming? And Captain Cold says, Tisk. Okay, I've had enough of this freak show. Let him out. Captain Boomerang says, you sure you want to do this? And Captain Cold responds, no, but we don't have a choice. Get Grodd. And it's the cutest green brain showing monkey that just came out of a science lab that you probably ever seen. And man, I gotta say, this is completely different from the original Wally West story that we're so familiar with. I mean, him being a super introvert, not having anyone, dealing with depression and anxiety. It's just, there's a lot of emotions for him he's dealing with while trying to deal with these powers. I want to know what exactly happened to kill Barry, because we still don't know that. And what exactly is going on with this Monkey Grodd? I don't know if we really want to call him Gorilla Grodd. So we're going to call him Monkey Grodd. I don't know if he's going to have the same abilities, if he's going to be overpowered. The change in his size and appearance is such a shift that I don't know what to expect. But hey, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Did Wally make the right move? Or is this kid in way over his head? If you're feeling the content, go ahead and hit the like button. It really helps the channel push through the algorithm. Make sure to subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. And check out our merch store for some exclusive gear, including the Everyone Gets a Symbiote collection designed by us. Links in the description. And as always, thanks for kicking it with Keepin' It Comic.